B3 on base is literally pumping again. So this is pretty big. It's been a while since we've seen some movements inside of this project, but now we're seeing the price action increasing once again. So we're going to talk about why. We're going to talk about what's coming up next for B3. Anyways, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but let's get straight into it. So, as you can see right now, B3 is up 17% in the last 24 hours. We're at 0.00595, and we went all the way up to like 61, like 0.0061. So that was actually a really nice pump that we just got here. You can see 17% up in the last 24 hours. This project is still fairly new, so you got to remember this is very good for a project like this because before it was going down, right? It had a huge airdrop that everyone got, and then everyone was talking about it. It was pumping, yeah, all the way up to a penny and a little bit more than that, and then it just started to go down. But now it's kind of starting to recover. It almost looks like it's bottomed out down here. If you look at that, this almost looks like a bottoming out. So it's a possibility that it did bottom out, but there's always the possibility that it could continue downwards. Now, if you're actually looking at this from the technical analysis point of view with the Fibonacci, it does look a little bit like we have bottomed out here. And if we are going to continue to rise on this upward trajectory that we're on right now, we should be on the way to 0.008. So that's a possibility, but we do have to make sure that we can get past this level right here. This is almost like a resistance for us that we got to try to get past right now. And we're almost like we're pretty much there, but it could get rejected. So you do have to pay attention to that. Now, with the RSI down here, you can see how it's kind of crossing, almost looks like it wants to curve downwards. Typically, when the stock RSI crosses here at the top like that and starts going down, that's usually when you start seeing a downward price action. So there's always that possibility that it could go down, but then there's the possibility that it'll do like what it did here, go halfway down and then go right back up. So you can see here how it went halfway down, touched that support, and then went right back up. So if that happens, it would look something similar to that, and you would see something like this where it goes down to here where this level was, and then you'll see it going right back up to there and possibly making its way up to 8 cents. Well, not 8 cents, but 0.008. So that's what I'm watching out for right now with B3. And then we also got some stuff coming up inside of the markets because it is a fact that the United States economy has a huge effect on the whole overall crypto market. And I know not everyone watching the video lives in the US, but it does have a huge effect on the crypto market. We typically see a very, very large effect here. But anyway, we're going to end up seeing the inflation rates, the year over year inflation rates is pretty much going to be announced on the 12th of March. And then you're going to see the core inflation, and then you're going to just see all that stuff that they're going to talk about on that Fed meeting. So they're going to talk about that. We're going to know about what we had for inflation last month inside the US and what's going to be coming for the months ahead. The PPI on the 13th of March. So we're going to get a lot of different stuff that's going to move the markets coming up around from March 11th all the way up to March 14th. We're going to get some news that'll just help the markets out. But anyways, yeah, we're at 0.006, doing very, very well here. So I think this is a good thing for B3. And the volume still looking good at 48 million in volume. That's still pretty good. 127 million in market cap. You can actually see here when we maxed out with market cap, it went all the way up to 356 million. So we're only halfway. We're pretty much halfway back up to where we were before. We only went down about 50%. I know it probably doesn't sound good when you say that, like only 50%, but yeah, it still has a lot to go to recover. But this is the perfect time to be dollar cost averaging into it. Now, granted, there is a possibility that it goes down a little bit lower and that you could get a better price, but compared to where it was before, this is actually a good price because I just kind of want to run some numbers here and show you guys something. Like let's say $1,000 at 0.06, right? That gives you 166,000 coins multiplied by where we maxed out at, which was 0.018. So let's say we would go all the way up to where we maxed out at 0.018. right? That is $3,000. So literally, that is a 2x. Like, just think about that. Well, really, it's like a 3x because you go from 1,000 to 3,000. So that's literally a 3x from where we are now. So yeah, you could 3x your money from here to the max where B3 was, which was a $356 million market cap. So a 3x from 127 million, and then just continuing to rise upwards to the 356 million. So that's pretty good. That's actually very, very, very good. So yeah, if you guys were to get it now, yeah, maybe if you had $10,000, it could be 30,000 once it goes all the way up. This does seem like a very good project, and it's on Coinbase. This is one of the things I like about this. Like, you literally do not have to buy it on a DeFi wallet. Now, holding crypto on a DeFi wallet is much more preferred, right? But you could literally buy this on Coinbase. You could literally hold $1,000 there, or 10,000 even, and you could just sit there and wait. You could wait for it to get all the way up to that level up there, and just imagine when the market really starts to pick up. Now, personally, I will say this: I'm not telling anyone to buy. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I'm not telling anyone to buy. But personally, I do believe that the market is going to pull back a little bit more. Like, I believe Bitcoin is going to pull back a little bit more, even though I still think this is a good price, regardless of how much more it pulls back. I do think Bitcoin is going to pull back to $74,000. That's been my theory here, right? And if it drops below $74,000, then it pulls back to $58,000, because those are just the levels that I have set there. And I've been talking about this a while for Bitcoin, and we all know Bitcoin kind of controls the whole market. So that's something you definitely want to be careful for if you're thinking about buying. Just remember, there's always that possibility that we go down more. Just look at how we keep getting rejected at every single level here, and 74K is that next support. If it breaks 74K, well, that next support is pretty much 60 slash 58K. So if it breaks 78K, 58K slash 60K. And if that happens, you're definitely going to see other cryptos and other projects dropping and pulling backwards. So that's something that you do want to put into the back of your minds. That's something that you really want to remember, because if that happens, then I don't know. I don't know if B3 will have that power and that momentum to actually get all the way up here to that resistance and actually push through it. Now, there are always outliers when Bitcoin is going down. There's always an outlier, and there's always multiple outliers when Bitcoin drops. There's multiple coins that continue to pump and just have enormous gains as Bitcoin goes down. It happens all the time. And there's a possibility that B3 could be one of those outliers. So there's something that you could also think about there, because there's a possibility that it could be an outlier. But yeah, that's what I got for that. Now, the holders here, 1,598,636 holders. That's pretty good. Hit the refresh button. Now 1,598,811 holders. So yeah, about 200 holders in the time period that I've been making this video. So yeah, that's pretty big. And they just now mentioned something. They said B3 leads on base. So one of the most important metrics of retail user base and adoption is token holder count, in which B3 is one of the largest in the base ecosystem. After executing one of the largest airdrops in gaming history, we're excited to see the growth of our community through fun, enjoyable games. The Open Gaming Layer 3 offers interrupt chain abstraction and payments by default, enabling games to coexist symbiotically with other ecosystems. And they actually just now got the first Solana game on here. I think it's called like Snake on Solana or something like that. So they just got the first Solana game pretty much set up here with B3. So that's pretty big as well. And they posted that earlier. So this is the game right here. So welcome Solana to Basement. So this is the new Solana game. Soul Arena is the first Solana game discoverable on Basement.fun, which is B3's platform. So this is the project here. Is the first Solana one to be posted, so that's pretty big. We're probably going to end up seeing a lot more. And look at all their partners. Look at all their exchanges that they're listed on. They got a lot. They got a lot going on for them. Okay, so this is not just the average project. Seems like a good project. They've raised 8.69 million. So yeah, they're doing big things with B3 right now. So also, B3 is now available for custody on Coinbase Prime. Availability of this asset may be restricted based on the custodian, entity, and client jurisdiction. But yeah, long story short, you can now get it on Coinbase Prime, which is, I believe it's like the pro version of Coinbase. You know, they got like Bybit Pro or stuff like that. This is like Coinbase Pro. They got Kraken Pro. This is like Coinbase's Pro thing. That's what I believe. All right. So also about the holder thing, you also got to remember, yes, we do have 1.5 million, almost 1.6 million holders. We have 1,598,811 holders, almost 1.6 million holders. You have to remember that most of those holders are not large holders that are holding like large amounts of money. Most of those holders are the people that are actually playing the game, and like they're making the money on the game, they're playing the game, and then they're sending the money off to their other wallets, right? They're sending their money off to their centralized exchanges. Because you can see the number 1000th wallet here only has $236. The number 1000, like think about how much of a difference that is from the amount of holders. The number 1000 wallet holder, not wallet, the number 1000th wallet holder only has $236, but there's 1.598 million. That means that this amount right here has $236. Like this, like the number 811th person has similar, right? So that means that possibly like the number 3000 holder might have like $50 or $20. The number 10,000 holder might have $10 or 10 cents. So that just means that there's a lot of dust wallets, and there's also a lot of wallets that are used for transfer wallets whenever they're transferring into the game and out of the game. Like they're getting their money out and getting it in, like whenever they're playing the games. And if it's like a game where they're earning money and they're earning crypto, then they're gonna end up pretty much sending that money off to their centralized exchange, or sending it off to a different blockchain or something like that, or a different project. But that's still is pretty big that this many people, 1,598,811 people, are interested in this, because the gaming sector is huge. People aren't just buying this project just because it's a crypto project that's pumping. Like a lot of people are all actually into it for the games. They're into it for the game and the basement.fun games. They're like not only into it because of crypto and like the pump, like they're into it for the game as well. So that's actually pretty big, because most crypto projects, like most crypto gaming projects, the people are only in there to make money in crypto. They don't care about the game. But people in B3 base actually care about playing the games. So that's a pretty big difference between a lot of different gaming projects in B3. But yeah, this is pretty much all I got for y'all today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice at all. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this, and let me know what you want me to go over next. Hit the like button and subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, I'll be back with another video.